Hey everybody, welcome to episode 52 of Two Guys, Zero Planners, brought to you by us, and this blueberry coffee that I am currently drinking.
And some nondescript iced coffee on my side.
Always nondescript coffee. Although I hide my coffee, it's actually really good coffee that I grind myself and everything. Since I run a little bit short on time, I do grind a rather large batch early and then put it in a Folgers tin because those actually work for keeping the coffee somewhat fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been 6 months and we're recording again. What's going on here?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? We did move out our recording date by, 3 weeks already, but at least we managed to do it now.
Yeah, there was a good reason for that. I'm picking up some overtime at work, and our last recording date fell after the day I worked some overtime, and that would have just completely destroyed me. So it's a good thing we did not record at that time.
Yeah, and I think one of the other times was it was Sunday. We were out anyway, going to one of the lakes for a swim or something, and it would have been too late. So, but now... Today, it worked.
Today we are here, and I actually ended up holding up the recording today, because my boss was listening to the video that just went live, which, yes, I made another video, and it hasn't been months on that channel either.
Mm.
But I had him listen to it and go, hey, does this sound like me? He did exactly what I expected him to do, and he was brutally honest, and he said, you sound a little bit more nasally than you do when I talk to you at work. Charles, while I appreciate the feedback, you have no damned idea how much work you created for me.
So what can you do? Do you need to adjust some levels, some filters? I don't know.
I already made the adjustments, so I have a piece of hardware in front of me called an Art Voice channel. It is an equalizer, compressor, preamplifier, de-esser, and noise gate all built into one.
Mm-hmm.
It's about $700. And what I did was move a couple of the frequencies on the EQ. I went ahead, because I did that, I had to up the input gain. And also because of that, I had to change the way that the compressor was hitting as well. And then I had to take a paint pen and put little dots on the interface so I could remember where my settings are in case I move a knob.
Yeah, that's the downside of this whole analog machine, right?
Yeah, but by the same token, I just move a couple knobs, I leave them where they are, and I don't have to do anything on the back end for my voice. Literally what you are hearing right now is what went into the podcast. There's going to be a little bit more de-essing on the background, but literally not much. And then this is how the next video is going to sound.
Yeah, just like digital versus analog photography, right? You either pick the film beforehand, and then it's fixed, but you don't need to do stuff. I mean, in theory, but you need to scan, so it's not true. Or you have digital and you spend hours building your profile in Lightroom or whatever it's being used today. Yeah.
You know, before we get to the pen-related topics, since you brought up photography, I want to poke a bear. I want to bring up a topic that is either going to make people like us or hate us. Are you okay with that?
Sure.
What do you think when you hear the letters AI?
I hear a term that no one in the broad public actually understands, and I slap it on to anything, and it's been done like that since the 60s. Only today the results are a bit better.
So as an artist, when you hear the term AI, what do you feel?
So I don't look at it as an artist, I look at it as a scientist, because that's what I also did as part of my master's. So I don't know. On the one hand, yes, it could be maybe something that is gonna threaten whoever artist it is going to be. But then is it really going to be so bad? I mean, before photography, there were painters that could basically paint real life in really good quality. And then they were threatened by photography. But the art form didn't die either, did it, right? So it's just some things change. I think that's all that's going to happen.
I'm glad you worded it that way, because what brought this up is one of the Discords I'm in. This person posted what they called generative art. I hate the term generative art because to me, the layperson with a history degree and no real technical background outside of this analog gear that I'm using to record, to me, it feels like two words used to describe I typed a word into a box and a computer did all the work.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the question is, how far do you want to go, right? I mean, you could argue this is not art, right? Already. I don't know. I would see this as being, I mean, on the other hand, would be quite handy, right? You are, I don't know, building some website for your company to show stuff. And then you say, hey, I need a picture of this or that. And then you type it in and it gives you something. But then that's not art, right? It is just some mundane tool to do something.
And I guess that's kind of where I draw the line. Like, for me, an artist is somebody who puts in time and effort. And I think it's that second word that really determines whether or not you get to call yourself an artist. Like, a photographic artist takes the time to master the settings of their camera. They put in the effort to set up and frame the shot that they're wanting to take a picture of. A musician, as an artist, takes the time to put hours, days, months, years of practice into their instrument, unless they're a punk rock artist, in which case you just get drunk and hit things and call it a day. But you still put time and effort into that, and you still are a musical artist. Typing a couple words into a computer, like Space Cowboy in front of Nebula, and then hitting enter and choosing the best output that the computer gives you, doesn't feel like there's that minimum effort required to call yourself an artist.
Although maybe you could fine-tune and spend hours to have it generate the exact thing you're looking for, and then maybe the effort is there again.
Maybe, but is that really your effort, or is that the effort of the person who wrote the algorithm that you're just throwing words into? And then you can devil's advocate that and say, well, isn't the photographer just hitting the shutter button of the engineer who made the camera?
Yeah, I think this is it's a new tool. It's a new technology, and we just need to adjust as society. And we don't even yet know what the actual limits of this are, right? We don't know how far it can go. I mean, it sort of is accelerating the changes and new things coming out, the advancements and stuff. We'll have to see how far it can actually go, and then we'll see how much of a difference it's going to make.
I would send you a link to the artwork that prompted this discussion, but I just clicked on this person's link to their artwork, and it's nothing but smut. The pictures that they actually posted to start their argument were tame. The rest of this person's work belongs on like Pornhub, so we're not linking that in the show notes. We're not mentioning the person at all, because I respect my listeners too much to do that to them. And I think what pissed me off the most about this is what I woke up to, by the way. I woke up to your message asking if we were recording, and then I woke up to a wall of text in this other Discord about this person calling himself a real artist and then speaking down to the rest of us because we just don't understand the technical aspect of what he does.
I mean, at least the arrogance he seems to of an artist, he seems to be good at. So, I don't know.
Step 1, are you an arrogant asshole? If so, congratulations, you're an artist.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. So, okay. Do we have an email address where people can actually chime in with their thoughts on that? Oh, yeah, we do. ask2gop@gmail.com. Hey, use that. Let us know what you think about AI art. Is
Yes.
it art? I forgot we actually had an email address. I should probably add that to my phone at some point.
Yeah, you should, because I don't have it. I don't receive the emails, I think.
Well, let's get back to pen stuff. That was a good tangent. And it also allowed me to have some more of this amazing blueberry coffee.
Nice.
I mean, it's the creamer that's making it blueberry, but oh my god, it tastes good. Okay. So, I'm clicking this first link here. Okay.
Yeah, so the first link, this is actually, so I have this Atoma disc-bound notebook. The cool thing about these notebooks is that you can basically just punch some holes into a paper and then use whatever paper you have in roughly the right format and use it. The problem is that the actual hole punches, at least for what I use, is roughly an A5 format. They are really big, and depending on which one you buy, they're actually also super expensive. So instead of buying one that actually punches the, I don't know, for A5, it would be 8 holes in a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
I bought one sort of a handhold thing that can punch exactly 1 hole. And it was super cheap. And as I basically just need one piece of paper at a time, that was sort of fine. But it was a nice discovery that stuff like that exists. So it comes with a nice tool where it tells you where to put the first hole, depending on the paper size, and then it has some notch where you then can put the first slot into, and then it sort of aligns and then puts the next holes in the right places. So it's actually pretty easy once you get the first hole in the right place, and it's cheap, and that's nice.
Now, I have to ask, what color did you get?
The turquoise one.
You did get the turquoise one, okay.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, I wasn't gonna judge. I mean, that pink reminds me of many an office in the 1980s and early 90s. So, I mean, hey.
Yeah, but if you can get a turquoise one, then why wouldn't you, right? Fair
enough. So, okay, I'm trying to think when in my life I have actually needed a hole punch recently, and I can't think of a single time in the last 2 decades where I've needed a hole punch.
Yeah, I mean, this for me is just, these days I don't really have a bullet journal for work anymore. It's just, I'd have 2 lists, right? Stuff that I need to do soon and stuff that I can do later. So this is now my minimal work notebook situation, and in that, it's basically, there was a time where I basically wrote it on one piece of A5 paper every day.
Mm-hmm.
But then the do later list got a bit longer and I didn't want to rewrite it every day. So I thought, hey, let's reuse my disc-bound notebook, and then I just have 2 pieces of paper, right? One for the longer term and one for the daily tasks. And then I have so many different kinds of paper, so I can just switch between paper types basically every day if I want to, which is kind of nice, because then you're not stuck in a notebook for months on end. Instead, you just switch whenever you want to.
Makes sense. Makes perfect sense. Which actually brings us to link number 2 here. I use endless creative stuff a lot. Like, the majority of my notebooks are endless notebooks because their TR consistency for me is consistent, which is what I really care about. What do you think of these creative blocks?
I mean, this sort of directly fits into this disc-bound stuff, right? It's roughly A5. It's you tear off a piece of paper from the block, and I can put it into the notebook, and that I basically got the 2 things at the same time. Sort of the idea is nice. I mean, it's nothing revolutionary, right, to have a pad of paper. But this doesn't use Tomorrow River paper. This uses their, I don't know, Regalia paper, which is closer, I believe, to Cosmo Air paper. So
I think so, yeah.
in the sense of never put your hands on it, otherwise you won't be able to write on it anymore.
Right.
The problem is that it's not as there are some production issues. Sort of if I really put in a lot of ink on it, it actually bleeds through. I linked a video of another YouTuber who actually had one of their notebooks with the regalia paper, and you could see how it sort of did bleed through and feather, but not on the whole page and consistently, but just sometimes and a bit. So kind of nice paper, but it would even be better if it were consistently good, I guess.
Okay, so at least I'm not alone in that. I bought one of those notebooks to see if I would be transferring to that paper after I finished my current notebook that I'm doing reviews in. And the initial test pages were lackluster enough that I decided against it and immediately went back to their TR notebooks.
Yeah, my main problem is actually the hand oils. That's I find that generally annoying in paper if you have to be really careful. I mean, Tomorrow River is borderline already problematic, but this is just even more so, I guess.
I guess in that case, then, are you going to end up just changing the pads that you're using?
I mean, for my notebook, I have this one. Then I have some really cheap recycled A5 pad, like €2 from the drugstore, which is actually more fountain pen friendly than this one probably, and also doesn't feather, and there's no nothing on it. So this is amazing. I also now have a pad of Midori cotton, and I have my old Hobonichi cousin that I'm sort of taking apart and can put in pages of that sort of, and I have some pretty good sort of printer paper that I can use, and I have some A4 Tomorrow River paper. So this, I mean, I'm switching all the time. This is sort of the big thing for me, right? Notebooks are fine, but having to use it all the time and always the same is just super boring after a while.
Well, thanks to Phil, I am on the Midori cotton train. That has been purchased. I just have to finish going through one of my other notebooks first, and then I'll be able to start using that. So
yes, and that is exactly the thing that I don't want to, right? I don't want to wait. Instead, I want to say, hey, and today I'm using a new sheet of paper, and it's a different one. And then I don't have to wait until the whole notebook is filled.
I may have to start doing that, because it's to the point where it's like, I made the mistake of buying a planner again. I'm partway through it. I haven't written in nearly half of the pages, and I feel guilty because that's paper going to waste. Whereas in my other notebooks that didn't have days set aside for things or anything like that, if I skipped a day or two, you didn't know because I just picked up writing where I left off. Yeah, I feel like I can't do that in a planner. Don't buy planners, kids. Don't buy planners.
Yeah.
I may have to do that. I may have to get out of the notebook game completely and switch over to this wonderful life of loose paper and hole punches. What are you doing to me? Why are you spending my money? Quit.
I mean, you should be able to start really cheaply anyway. I mean, this hole punch, for example, I mean, that was cheap, and then you don't buy the sort of brand Atoma notebook, but something like Arc or whatever, and they're plastic discs, and they should be super cheap, and then if you don't like it, you switch back. It shouldn't be a huge expense, at least to try it out.
Damn it, Urban. Also, thanks to you, I started looking at the cost of Pelican pens on the German Amazon versus the American Amazon, and all I can say is, damn it, Urban.
I mean, I believe the better option might be to go through Cult pens. That's what I've heard from many people.
Really?
Even there, it's much cheaper, and you have probably better customer service or maybe pens that actually, or if it doesn't work, then you have someone on the other end who actually knows what you're talking about, I guess. That's sort of the hold up for me buying a pen from Amazon, is because if it doesn't work, then I don't know, probably not the best time.
I mean, luckily I've never had any issues on the couple that I've gotten through there, but it was kind of just, oh my god, I can't believe they actually have this pen. I'm gonna take a chance on it, because why not? And then it ends up working out, and it's like, hey, it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, why did they have to release that pastel blue? Oh, that looks beautiful.
What are you looking at now?
The M200 pastel blue.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I realized it's a bit too small for me. brings us to the next topic. I mean, I think we talked about it last time, how I wanted to sell some of my pens before buying new ones. And
yeah, how's that fire sale going?
it actually sort of, the problem here is that most of my pens are actually cheaper Chinese ones, right? So it was at some point I just spent a day and put them all on my website.
Mm-hmm.
There were some other bit more expensive pens in there, some Kaweco. So I actually sold almost all my Kaweco pens and 2 of the 3 of my M205 Pelican M205s and a few other things. And by now I think I've sold almost 50 pens, so roughly half of my collection.
So what you're saying is now you have room for more pens.
Well, I mean, I could also spend money on holidays and, I don't know, save it up. But yeah, maybe there's I mean, maybe I can now pay for the stuff I already bought. Maybe let's put it like that.
I'm trying to remember that particular Karas Customs, was that a one-off or?
Yes, that was one that the Sodalite finished, I think. Did I get it from you or from... I think I got it from Phil, and it was sort of like this... Did they have this pen club? I think it was a special...
that's what it was.
Yeah, for those.
That's what it was, and I got it from Phil. You got it from me.
Yeah, it hasn't sold yet, and I'm now thinking maybe I'll keep it. Because I already sold so many pens, so maybe I'll just... I don't know.
Oh, and that Kaweco looks so nice. Something about just something about just an understated jet black pen is just beautiful.
Yeah,
I like the way that one looks.
Yeah, it's completely black, but it has this sort of, I don't know if it's an engraving or whatever of the normal Kaweco, but it's sort of in shiny black on a matte black body, and then the nib is black, and sort of the finial is also black, and yeah, but then I haven't used it for a while.
Yeah, I mean that's why I got rid of my Golden Espresso. I loved that pen when I got it. It was a great pen, amazing double broad nib, and then I just quit using it. So it's like, okay, should somebody else have this pen? And the answer there was most definitely yes.
Yeah, sort of. I think I also sort of on that for sale page. Please, everyone, click on it and figure out if there's something for you. I'm just putting a few more pens than sort of. And basically, I'll happily use part of the collection that's already on there, but I'm also happily selling them, right? So it's going to be, I guess, a bit of an ongoing thing to just put stuff there and then see what happens.
In my world, I actually ended up selling the Pilot Custom Heritage 92. Once again, I just quit using it. Great pen, great nib. It just was sitting around, so it's like, okay, it's your turn to go out the door. And technically, the Namiki Nippon art is also in that same boat, but I forgot it's pen show season, and no one is currently buying high dollar pens because, they're saving up for their Grail pens at pen shows.
Yeah, that's what I noticed as well, right? My $10 or €10 Chinese pens, they've almost all sold, but anything more expensive is just selling much, much slower. I
may relist that pen at some point after the DC pen show is done, but I'm also debating like putting that pen up for trade for either a tortoiseshell M400 with a particular nib or a couple of the M200 special editions with certain nib sizes. So I'd be okay with trading in the Namiki for some Pelicans. Yeah,
although, I mean, a tortoiseshell, that's not even... I'm looking at it like that's like 250, so you might want to get more than just that pen.
Yeah, I know. I know. I mean, there's always a little bit of wheeling and dealing when you're doing that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But, I mean, that's one of the things I'm thinking, because, like, it's another one of those pens where it's a good pen, I just don't use it. I think I would almost rather do a straight trade with somebody for it. I don't know. If anyone out there has an M1000 that you're not using, we could do a straight trade for that. Yeah. I'm not picky. I just want Pelicans. Give me all the Pelicans. That's all I want.
Yeah, for me, it seems to be the Leonardos, right?
Right.
So I bought the Stile Micarta Momento Zero.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also bought your Figboot Leonardo. Sadly, it's still waiting at the customs office.
You need to go pick that up before they send it back to me.
Yes. Yeah, let me tell you the story. So, so apparently, the big mistake made was that you ticked gift on the customs form you sent with it.
I did not tick gift.
You ticked gift and other. That's what they told me. So
no,
I don't know.
I put other. God damn it!
It's that, and it I think it also didn't. They said it didn't include the price. Sort of the in some custom handlings, the sort of German Post sort of does for you, right? But in this case, it actually ended in the customs office, and I went there, and they said, yeah, sorry, stuff changed last year, and you actually have to either you pay someone here in the building, some company, to do this customs forms for you, would be 60 euros, and you can do it right now. Or you do this customs form online and you come back at another time. So I've been spending the weekend now trying to understand what all these weird codes and legalese terms actually mean. And I think I have now managed to produce a customs form. And of course, I had to do this online and submit it online. But then I still have to print it out, sign it, and go there to give it to them.
I'm going to a different post office from here on out. Like, seriously, when I did it, I put other. I specified it was a fountain pen, and I specified the purchase price of $200. I literally put it on the customs form. I wrote it on the customs form. I know what I put on there. So the postmaster or whoever, I hate that post office with a passion. They've lost 2 packages. They've messed up a package to you. I'm done. I am done with that post office. That's it. That is it.
I mean, I was a bit annoyed that day, but in a way, it's an amazing story. I just wonder how much of this is either the German state being bad at this stuff, which could very well be, or they actually want to discourage people from buying stuff from outside of the European Union, which could also be the case. I don't know. Or it's a mix of both.
Ay.
But yeah, maybe. But on the other hand, the customs officer was really helpful. And he said to me, I can send the customs form to them via email. And then hopefully they will check and report back to me if it's fine. And then next time I go there, I can actually be sure that I can pick it up. Because it's also a half an hour drive to get there, right? So it would be nice to actually pick it up.
Like, the only thing I didn't put on the customs form was the weight. That was the only thing I didn't put on there.
Yeah, I don't know. He said it would have been maybe helpful to put in the invoice, which technically is not a complete invoice, but sort of a PayPal printout. I don't know. I mean, by now I probably know what to do, and I understand more or less.
Yeah,
to do.
Since they said it was marked double, there should be the customs paper in like a plastic envelope on the package. When you get it, take a picture and send it to me. I want to see what they did after the fact. I'm curious because I actually have to complain about this to that particular post office. I'm not a happy Yvgenii right now.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did get those 2 Leonardos. So I spent, I don't know, half of the money I got for my pens already.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also got some nibs from FP Nibs. So this is Spain, so no customs for me, which is great. I mean, he isn't super cheap, but I think the nibs are actually pretty good. So I did get some flex or semi-flex nibs. So one is a Jovo steel one. Sort of they came out with these semi-flex nibs with these cutouts on the sides. What he did then is sort of make a longer slit so that it's even a bit more flexible. So that's nice. That's currently on an Opus 88 pen, which is already pretty wet. and then have a flex nib on it with an ebonite feed, and it's just a gusher. I mean, I almost managed, I managed to get bleeding on Tomoe River, but then it was noodlessing, so I don't know what it is.
Does it really count when it's noodlers?
Yeah, exactly. Does it really? Probably not, yeah. And then also because I thought, if I get a Jovo one, I should probably get one for my Bock threading pans as well. So I got a flex nib and sort of modified in the same way, but now this is a broad one. So I have to try that out still, but also ebonite feed. And yeah, I think those are really cool and cheaper than buying a new pen, I guess.
You've been up to quite a bit.
Yeah, sort of my other excuse is that I actually I'm switching jobs. So I resigned, this being Germany. I have a 3-month notice period. So I'm spending 3 months not doing much at work now, which is fine by me. But then in October, I'm starting a new job and I'm getting a 17% raise. So I thought, yeah, I could probably celebrate this a bit. I mean, maybe it's a bit early because I'm not actually getting more money at this point. But yeah, luckily I've been selling all the pens now. So it works out, I guess.
So is this a topic that I'm going to end up hearing about when I actually edit the next episode of Expanding Beyond?
Yes, extensively about resigning and not really being as motivated anymore when you've already quit.
Okay. I look forward to doing that later this afternoon then. Well, congratulations on the new job. I can't wait to hear all about it here in a couple hours.
Yeah, the short version is that I will be working for a German company again instead of being bought out and now under American leadership, which is not that great, I would say.
Yeah, you're not entirely wrong. We do things weird. We definitely do things weird. So
you certainly do them differently. So that's I would say part of it is certainly that it's a big culture shift and you have to decide if that's something you want to go along with or not. And then I found something else that's sort of more along the lines of where I would want to work, plus pays me more. So I mean, it wasn't even a big decision to make.
Well, I mean, that's the important part. So I'm just getting my blood pressure back down from the customs form. Sorry.
I don't know.
A little bit.
Sort of question if I don't know if this is a very European thing. Is Asterix and Obelix something known in the US? Or are you all Disney? Okay, no. Sort of Europe also has comics and stuff like that. One is about called Asterix and Obelix that is actually French. And they've also made some movies out of it and stuff like that. It's about some Gaelic village sort of fighting against the Romans. And it's a very European thing. And it sort of reminded me in one of the movies, there was this one task where they had to sort of go through some bureaucracy and get some permit. And that sort of all reminded me a lot of the customs forms and stuff that I have to deal with now.
Okay, now that I'm looking it up on Google, I feel like I've seen an Americanized version of this at some point.
Yeah, it's sort of this is sort of, I don't know, it's not quite as big as Mickey Mouse, probably, but I would almost say it's close here. So they have made, there's like almost 40 comics, and there's been 5 to 10, maybe 5 movies, and there's been some live action movies with Gérard Depardieu and stuff like that even. So yeah, that's a very European thing, I guess.
See, up until the creator turned out to be a racist piece of crap, the cartoon that really epitomized the problems with the American workplace and bureaucracy in general was Dilbert. I can't read that comic anymore because the creator is just a POS, but hey. Yeah, I don't know how much Dilbert you got over in Germany, but that was
as a software developer, obviously Dilbert is known. Because it's too close to the truth in many places. Yeah.
It really is. I think every job has that pointy-haired boss and every job has a Wally. They really do. I wonder where I would fit in with that. I don't think I'm evil enough or high enough up the food chain to be Dogbert, but I would like to be, I think, maybe. Should I really aspire to be evil? I think the answer there is no.
Probably not, yeah.
Well, before I go and get lunch and do other things around here and edit some podcasts, one last non-pen related thing. How many guinea pigs do you think I could have made with all that fur that came off my dog today?
Depends on the guinea pig. So there are some with some very fluffy hair and long hair. So somewhere between 3 to 5, maybe 6 even.
Yeah, that pile of fur. I mean, you figure she's a 75-pound dog.
Mm-hmm.
That's just an insane amount of fur. And that came off today, but right before we started recording. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that is a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think how on earth, because the pile that came off of her 2 weeks ago was the exact same size.
Mm-hmm.
That's like half of her. Where does she keep coming up with all of this fur?
Yeah, it's either coming off like that or it's coming off and you have to clean your floor every day, I guess, right?
I do actually have to clean my floor every day. So this is on top of the everyday floor cleaning that I do. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have to post this in the Pets channel on Slack. That way people know what I'm talking about here that are in the Pen Addict Slack.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah, this is just nuts. And when it happened 2 weeks ago, I'm like, oh, okay, it's summer. That's just her summer coat. And it happened again this week, and I'm like, okay, that's not normal. Normally we have one round like this. But there's no empty spots in her fur, so I have a strange feeling in 2 more weeks, it's going to be the exact same thing. So where is all this fur coming from?
Yeah, that is really a lot, yeah. You need to keep us updated next episode, how much it was in the end. And I will have to...
The fur saga.
Yeah. And I will have to see how many more guinea pigs there are going to be.
Yeah, we're specifically saving that topic for the next one so we can get an accurate count after the recent shenanigans in guinea pig land.
Only 6 right now, but we'll see if we make double digits by next time.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will catch you in the next one.
See you. Bye-bye.